to videos on the side screen. Transfer to our front camera. Hi guys.
Hello, hello.
We are here. We are here. Hopefully we're here. All right. Maybe we're live. There we are. All right. A little bit of a delay. No big deal, right?
Well, hello everybody. David Gross back with you, and of course the star of the show, Sprite. How are you today, this fine Friday, Sprite?
I am good, David.
Hopefully we're getting on YouTube. I'm trying to figure out what might be going on there. So we'll see here. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun this week. Got some new videos up from Open House. One of them really good. So I hope you checked out those videos. We'll give a chance for a few people to come on board here and join us. This time of year always very exciting, very busy. We've got our Christmas in July event. Good job going on, and I hope you got that email, because Sprite, what's in that email?
Oh man, okay, so our Christmas in July we have going on right now to the end of the month. We have all kinds of ornaments, aluminum, porcelain, acrylic, ceramic. We have all kinds of stuff on sale for you to help you get ahead planning for Christmas. I know it's July. Nobody thinks about Christmas in July. It's time to start planning.
But I think the best part is the little code that's in the emails.
Yeah, there might be a code in that email.
There
might be a code.
If you don't have that code, you could contact us and contact your Conde rep, and we'll give you that code. I think that code is good for, what is it, $30 on your next order of $200
or more, yeah.
Kind of stuff.
So, yeah.
So
before we get to
limit one code, per client.
So before we get to all the really great stuff, just let me know, can you guys hear and see okay? Do we sound like we're underwater, kind of on helium today? Let me know how the sound's going, how everything's going. And yeah.
Hopefully all good.
Hopefully it's all good. Hopefully.
So if you didn't get an email, you can contact your Conde rep, or just send an email in to us saying you want your code. And so everybody's entitled to it. There's no special consideration. We want everyone to have a chance to begin to try new products, plant seeds for Christmas. One of my favorite new products is the textured Christmas ornament.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do one of those today.
Okay, gosh.
Yeah.
So the textured stuff from EasySub, really cool. We're us that are doing sublimation in our sleep are so used to a lot of common products, and so when we see something that's quite a bit different, to me it screams value. So definitely go check it out. Before we get started, we have our big trade show next week. It is in the Meadowlands, New Jersey. I refer to as Secaucus. That's the city it's in. And we really have a great time going there. In the grand scheme of things, it's a smaller show, but just a huge number of people attend the show. So definitely check it out if you're in that area. The show is Thursday and Friday. I will teach my class along with Jeff Butler Thursday at 10 o'clock. If you attend my class, which I'd like to bribe you, is I'll give you a $25 coupon, $25 credit at Conde. And I think that there's even another coupon, I believe, that we'll be giving out at our booth for something else. I can't remember. But I've already seen the sign-up list for the class, and it's more folks than the classroom is capable of handling. So, but you know, sometimes not everybody shows up. So, should be a great class. Sprite will stay home. You're gonna keep going because Sprite is as busy as I have ever seen her. And we've been shooting videos this week.
Yep.
And Sprite has shot 2 videos.
Three.
That's right, 3.
Yep.
And what videos did you shoot this week?
So we did the new waffle towels, which is fun because we're kind of trying.
That's a great product.
It really is, and we're kind of
2 sizes.
It is the 11 by 18 and the 16 by 25, and I'm excited about that video because we're kind of trying a new format with it, so that'll be fun. And then also I did a new introduction to sublimation, so hopefully that'll be good for you guys. And we did the Caesar Easy Subli, so you know, that'll be fun as well. I have a couple of people saying that the sound is maybe a little low.
I just ran it up a little bit.
He just ran it up. He's good. He's good. I saw that. Yeah.
I think I ran it. Let's talk about the Caesar Easy Subli vinyl for a second.
Well, we're going to talk about it more.
Okay.
So.
Then good. We'll save that. So going back to the show, attend the show if you can. Attend the class. Great networking opportunity. So take advantage of that. Also in the news, this is the latest edition of the folks that put on the show, NBM, and it is the August 2019 issue. And Sprite, I think you helped me with this article, right? Or you proofed it or something?
What is it? Oh, yeah, sure did. Sure did.
So this is the article, page 48, on the SubliShrink product that is sort of why the oven's here, right?
Yeah, it is. That's exactly right.
So it's amazing, new way, inexpensive, almost trouble-free way to do a better job and do more things in the oven. Everything from dog bowls to drinkware. Just think of all the other items that eventually we're going to be doing in there. And so we're doing new versions of the SubliShrink, smaller. It's going to be very exciting, and all of it's going to be very fast, adding new products to using the oven. We still haven't found the perfect oven, have we?
Yeah, and you know, and that's funny because I see a couple of people asking questions about the oven, and no, I'm still using that same Hamilton Beach, you know, $75 oven we got from Walmart. You know, it works. So, you know.
Yeah,
if
Cheryl
you guys...
Kuchak said that she likes starts with a B, Breve or something. I can't remember the brand she said. But we're still looking for a taller oven. So we want something a little taller.
That's not going to break the bank.
Yeah, and they're all inexpensive, so we need to get back on the path of finding it.
So, real quick, all right, guys, so I've got 3 really cool art packs to give away today, but I have to have 150 combined viewers on both YouTube and Facebook. So, guys, share my video. We're going to be talking about some really cool things today. We're going to be busting some myths. We're going to have some new products. We've got amazing prizes and some fun giveaways. So, share this video. Let's get our viewership up. I am not giving away my art unless we get to 150 views. So yeah.
Yeah, and looking at the numbers now, it should be straightforward to do that. So let's do it. So take advantage of the Christmas in July thing. That doesn't come around very often.
So okay, so I see you guys commenting on this. So I saw somebody on the Facebook forum suggest turning the oven on its side, and then when the oven is turned on the side, then you can stand the product up in the oven. And I was like, please don't do that. But now I see 2 people saying that it worked. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Doesn't seem quite right.
I don't know how I feel about that. So
seems a little unnatural.
But you know,
okay.
Sure you're not Sprite. Sure I'm not what, Eddie? I don't know. I'm having a little bit of a delay, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah. And Laura, no, we're going to announce the pet theme winners today. Today.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So you went through all the darn entries.
Man, and there was a bunch. There was a lot. So
I didn't get in that loop here. Nobody asked me my opinion, so
we passed it around to everybody.
Guess I'm a little hurt that I didn't get to vote.
What else do we have going on? All right, so next week, the 25th and the 26th, like David said, he's going to be in Secaucus, New Jersey. And then August the 13th at 4 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 p.m. our time, you and Sawgrass are going to be presenting a webinar on copyrights and trademarks, which is an incredibly valuable webinar to have. So copyrights and trademarks affect every entrepreneur in the decorated products industry on a daily basis. If you don't understand the law, you may risk paying steep fines or forfeiting your equipment. Learn copyright and trademark basics as they apply to you and your business without the legalese. The presenter is not an attorney, but will share knowledge gained from his personal experience with these laws. So that'll be really good for you guys. That is, like I said, August the 13th. It starts at 3 p.m. our time, so check it out. And David left me, so that's all right. All right, so Breville is the...
I'm back.
Breville is the oven from Cheryl that she mentioned. That's the oven, Breville.
Okay. I knew it was a word like that. All right.
Okay. All right, so let's get started. Yeah, guys, share my video. Let's get those viewers up. We will be doing Guess the Weight at the end, so you'll have an opportunity to buy some of the to win some of the things that we press. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is, and I know we kind of touched on this. Wow, it's been so long. Like 2 Wednesdays ago, on a live broadcast, but I kind of want to do it again because I feel like this is a sublimation myth, and that myth is that you cannot do a handled mug with shrink wrap, and yes you can. So let's do that real quick. I've got this really cute design, and by the way guys, this is one of those amazing designs that you will be able to win in if you get my viewership up, which we're getting there, so keep on sharing guys.
I'm going to switch to the top.
He's going to switch to the top. All right. And I know a lot of you asked me for that mug template, and if you didn't and you need it, email me, swood@conde.com. Let me know what format you need this in, and I will send it to you. So I have this really cute pattern. Once again, all of the patterns you can get on condedesign.com. So if somebody, one of the girls up there will knock that or drop that link in the description, that is condedesign.com. All of this is available there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my mug on my design, wrap it around. And I'm going to tape it. Okay. And I'm also going to do, even though I'm not doing the clip today, I'm still going to do the handle anyways, and we're going to see how that works. So I've got this cute little design for the handle, and then I'm just going to tape it on. And when I do this one, I'm going to cut the top and the bottom off a little bit. When I do this one, I am going to tape. I'm going to use a lot of tape, so I'm kind of going to let my tape be the pressure that I need against the mug. Okay, so Okay, do one more piece. All right.
Now we like this tape because it seems to interfere the least with the sublimation process. I think we call this our premium tape.
Our premium gold tape, that's right.
Right.
So I've got my my SF79 here. This is my 7 by 9 inch SubliShrink. Yes, I said that correct. All right. And I'm just going to cut a hole out. And Nancy, I saw that. She's been calling it Subleasy too. So that's not what it's called. It's called EasySubli.
Yeah, these names.
I know, right?
Sometimes they're a little bit challenging.
Okay. So I have it here. I'm just going to tape it to make sure that it doesn't pull apart once I apply my heat to it.
That's really the key right there, is to really keep the SubliShrink from pulling further back, so that you keep a tight grip on the transfer. You know, in the old days, we used to use wraps, and a lot of people still use wraps. Wraps would wear out. Wraps had to be, put on there. And I think wraps are still a great solution in many cases. But the SubliShrink, I think, ultimately is going to take over.
All right. Okay. All right, and I've had a lot of people ask me about having wrinkles in the, sorry, messed my mic up, having wrinkles in the shrink film, and that's actually not going to affect your image at all. So, all right, it is 3:26. I'm going to put this in for 13 minutes. So that would be 3:39. All right, here we go.
Go to the front one.
Quick question. How did you size the handle
design? I measured it. I measured the handle design.
Yeah, the handle design, you probably got, what, maybe 2 inches of length, and you maybe got
maybe a quarter
inch of width to it. And you can, play with it, and you can tell sort of what you're going to be able to accomplish. But I think it's really cool to put a little bit of decoration on the handle.
What model number is the oven?
Well,
so the oven is the Hamilton Beach convection oven that we got from Walmart. You guys have heard me talk about that quite a bit. We don't, if you need it in a pinch, it's good, but
we're still on the quest to find the perfect oven.
There's a couple of things about it that I'm not incredibly stoked about. This handle gets really, really hot. The convection fan isn't as powerful as I need it to be. And then I had a question about, could you do the shrink wrap with a hair dryer? Well, Joanne, you might be able to, but it's going to take you a long time.
I don't think you could.
The one that we got, the heat gun that we got from Harbor Freight for $20. So I mean, you're really going to.
In that regard.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, you're really going to spend about the same amount for a hair dryer that you would for this heat gun. So if you're serious about this and you want the best results, go ahead and get the equipment. It's just $20. It's it's not going to break the bank. So.
Yeah.
What temp is the oven? Promo, the temp is 400 degrees, and we're doing this for 13 minutes. So at 3:39, Eddie Greer, wherever you are, giving away your artwork. Eddie Greer, tell me when it's 3:39.
And based on past uses of this oven, we might want to cook it just a little bit longer. I don't know.
Well, last time I did it for 11 minutes, but
okay.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys, I'm at 140 viewers. Give me 10 more viewers, y'all. 10 more viewers, and I'll give you my artwork. So let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Where can I get the template for the mug? Mimi, email me, swood@conde.com. All right.
We will be formally uploading the templates shortly, right?
Yeah. Yep, yes, sir. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is, so there has been some confusion lately on whether or not you can use regular copy paper for sublimation. And the short answer is, well, yeah, you can. You can. But the better answer is, if you want good results, you need to use good quality sublimation paper. And there's a lot of reasons for that. David?
You know, so I think she's a client of ours, put a very entertaining video about sublimation paper. And, you know, what is the purpose of sublimation paper, and can you use non-sublimation papers? So first is, we think of sublimation paper as transfer paper. It's not. It's basically designed to carry the ink from the printer to the heat press, and we want to keep the ink dots sharp so that they don't blur, and paper should keep it very close to the surface so that when it does turn into a gas, it has an easier path to get to the substrate, the coating on there. And you want paper that is dimensionally stable, so it doesn't, you know, shrink or change. And you want paper that is not going to do weird stuff under, you know, 400 degrees. Now remember, 400 degrees is, you know, pretty darn close to catching fire. What was the book? Fahrenheit 451, I think. That's the combustion temperature of paper. So you're starting to edge close to that. And so over the years, sublimation paper has been relatively inexpensive, and I know of clients that in a pinch have used, you know, plain papers and things like that. And so Sprite was, and I think all of us very entertained by the video, and we wanted to press some stuff and look at it because, frankly, we had not taken a look at plain paper in a long time. And with that, give me just 1 second. I'll let you take over just a second.
David is so very, very popular. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do today, so in the video, there were a couple of things that she did which were kind of, we call them the magic of TV things. And one of them was that she pressed it on a shirt. A shirt has an open weave, and so it's very forgiving. And then also, she did an incredibly small image. So, you know, you couldn't really do a good side-by-side comparison. So what I'm going to do is this is a Chromolux matte metal, 8x10, and I'm going to do this design, which I did on the SPP paper, and then that same design, which I did on the copy paper. So you can see automatically there's a huge difference in color. So let's go ahead and press this to our metal, and you guys are going to see the difference. All right. By the way, this is item U4800. Yes. U4008. This is our 8x10 matte.
Now, one of the things while we're just talking about this, Unisub and Chromolux sort of, they're in the same family. The peel code of the product pretty much tells you what the finish of the metal is. So blue means matte, clear generally means glossy. Then the semi-matte most time is like an orange, I believe, or reddish kind of color. So they try to do things to help you identify which product you have. But you know, obviously when it comes to paper, there's a gazillion different papers that you can go into the store and order, and so it gets a little bit challenging to test all papers like we're doing now. So for instance, I know of tech support calls where people have used, I'll call them traditional Epson kinds of sublimation papers with their Sawgrass or Rico printers. And the challenge there is the ink does not dry well on those papers. It's just a different ink technology. And so you can get tractor wheel marks. As the black hits the output wheels, it's still wet, and you see those marks on the paper. So again, it's one of those kinds of things where, you know, paper being inexpensive, you really want to focus on papers that have good compatibility with your printer. Now with that said, we're always looking for, oh wow, looks good. We're always looking for the ultimate paper, you know. So there are a few people out there that transfer to, we'll call them unusual things. For instance, have a gentleman that transfers a lot to corian. Corian is the countertop material. It's made of polymers, and it turns out it's sublimatable. And in fact, corian and those kinds of materials hold a unique distinction out there in the sublimation world. They're the only product I'm aware of that if you make a mistake, you can sand it off because you can get a little bit into it to get to the sublimation dyes. And so DuPont, which invented corian, designed it so that if you gouge it, you can sand it, smooth it out a little bit, and ultimately you can reach deep enough because the dyes, after they come off the paper, they're in a gas, and it's what we call the dye diffusion process, and they're migrating into the open pores of the substrate. In this case, it's a polymer, and at some point or another, they run out of energy, and they simply stop at a certain depth. And so it's really cool, you know. If you were looking at a side of a Chromolux from the side, it's a relatively thick, clear coating, and if you could see it, you could see those dyes sort of in the middle. So really, really amazing process, and that's why sublimation is so cool, because it's what we call subsurface decorating. You can't get to it from the surface, you know. You gotta get into it, and so it's very difficult to damage it. You know, it's pretty much graffiti resistant. It's chemically resistant. So interesting, but there's a lot of smart folks out there that continue to experiment with all these properties. I work with many every day that are pushing the limits of, you know, what we're doing, and that's why this field is so exciting, because there's just a lot of innovations left in sublimation, just a whole lot left. But at any rate, so ultimately different companies are pushing the limit with paper. An example, we now sell a product by, we call it Jetcol, J-E-T-C-O-L, and it is the next generation sublimation paper. I think we're going to start having some free sample packs that you can request to try it. But that paper on certain substrates will definitely yield more ink and more vibrancy without giving up that dot gain, that detail. And so I'm very excited, for instance, about that. But for years, the paper that I believe has really done the best job on hard substrates with the delivery of the ink, with the maintaining the detail, with the dimensionally stable, because if you think about it, if it shrinks a little bit or just does this, you're going to get a blurry image on a photograph. So it has been the DyeTrans paper, and for different substrates, like a soft substrate, I've recommended the TexPrint family. What did we find out?
Well, first off, I would like to say thank you guys, because we've made it to our goal. So that means 2 people are getting art packs.
Awesome.
Awesome. And I would say as expected, but kind of as expected, yeah, there's a definite difference in clarity here. A huge difference in clarity. So, let's see.
Absolutely. So on the one where we used plain paper, we've got what I would refer to as distinctive modeling on it.
So this is the plain paper, and then this is...
And different people would, I think, would describe it different ways, but we would say some dropout, some modeling, inconsistent transfer area. Quite difficult to see it on camera, I think, but nonetheless there. Is it, if you had never seen what sublimation paper looked like, would it be acceptable? You know, I would say in a pinch it probably would, but if you compared it against what you could achieve with a good grade of sublimation paper, I would say, you know, it'd be night and day comparison.
Yeah, and you know what, Carol says it almost looks blurry, and it is blurry, and that's because the paper that we use is formulated to have what David calls a high dot gain, and that means it holds the ink in place. And so when you go to transfer it, it kind of blurs out. And just looking at her face, it actually makes her look like she has wrinkles. And you can see, I don't know if, I hope you guys could see. So, take a look at the black on her necklaces.
By the way, I love that photograph. As you know, that's one of my favorite photographs on glass.
So if you look at the black on her necklaces, you can definitely see the difference.
Yeah. Now, are we trying to sell you something? We're not. We're after here.
We're trying to educate.
What we're after here is you know, typical engineer in me is we want to standardize the process so that every part of the process is standardized so that we can help you be successful, make money. And paper is one of those parts of standardizing. And so if everybody was using sort of a random plain paper, from a color point of view, I think it'd be a challenge. From a quality point of view, it'd be huge. And is paper of a cost that is significant in the sublimation world? It certainly is not. And so, again, I think it's always a wise thing to do to review, at least for us that is, to review every single part of it from, you know, what roll of plain paper do you get for your cover? You know, the uncoated white butcher paper. I like the stuff at Uline or Sam's Club personally. So it's just a matter of that. And number two is, can you simplify something? Can you take a part of the process and make it better? I'll give you my favorite example of a process improvement, and that is that one day, and it wasn't me, somebody came up with the idea of when we do socks, instead of putting it on a jig, sliding it on a jig and then pressing it, why not have the sock company build in a jig made of cardboard so that it greatly reduced the setup, the labor. It improved the quality because the cardboard actually did better than the jigs, in my opinion. And so that's an example of a really a giant leap for process improvement dealing with socks. And so when folks do these kind of videos, we always love to watch them and always question how we can do better.
That's hot.
By the way, I think today is July 19th, and as memory serves, July 20th was when the lunar lander,
I thought that
the
was,
LIM,
is that not today?
landed on the moon. I think it was July 20th.
Because Google has a whole thing about, maybe it was today was the launch day.
I'm not sure what today, but seems like July 20th. Somebody check that and make sure it did the lunar lander land on the surface of the moon on July 20th? I think it did. So what an amazing, I'm listening to an audio book right now on who a lot of people credit with coming up with the philosophy of essentially 3 vehicles with rockets on them. You know, you had I think it was called the LIM, then you had the one that was in space. Gosh, my mind went blank. But there's 3 rocket things, and he came up with this concept. And according to the book, nobody liked his concept. They thought he was an idiot, crazy, and he went on this relentless crusade to convince everyone that, okay, July 20th, went on this crusade to convince everyone that his concept was the only way we were ever going to get to the moon.
Darcy asks, is it possible to print on the bottom of the mug with the SubliShrink? And no, Darcy, because the bottom of the mug is not coated. So we have those mates materials that are cut into 2-inch circles that you can brand the bottom of the mug for. And Elisa, if you want to come see me, I will give you this mug, darling, for sure.
So I don't know if we're frozen over here, but going back to the mug, yeah, everybody wants to decorate the bottom of the mug, and everybody wants to decorate the inside of the mug. And at this point in time, we don't have a good way to do either one of those. And the ways that people have come up with are probably not going to pass the necessary safety challenges with FDA compliance with Prop 65. So I would not try to coat it yourself.
Hit play.
Yeah.
And Nancy, we will respond to the posts. Yeah, we will totally respond to the post. That's what we're here for, a girl. All right. My mug press should be arriving next week. Good for you, darling. Let me show you guys what I did. So this was doing the mug with the SubliShrink, with that full bleed, full wrap handle, full wrap template. And I also imprinted the handle. So really cute design. And keep in mind, this is one of those designs that somebody's...
Good job, by the way.
Well, thanks, David. This is one of those designs that is going to be given away today.
So to me, that adds so much extra value, and
It really
was
does.
just, you know, maybe 30 to 60 seconds worth of extra work, but not much.
Maybe.
Lady had something about her colors pop on a, I can't see what that is, maybe a tri-blend or...
Oh, a ply blend, a poly blend.
Poly blend.
Well, you're going to need to use 100% polyester.
So what I would always do first when your colors don't pop is fall back to a extremely well-known substrate like a piece of metal, like a piece of Chromolux, as being the test. When we deliver our printers to people buy them, we include a couple of pieces of metal and I think some fabric, and I think in the near future we're going to start delivering a couple of pieces of the Caesar vinyl. But at any rate, you know, always want to test to make sure that things are good on a substrate that we know works. But ultimately, if a substrate is say 50-50, that means that 50% of the ink isn't going to find a home, and so by definition, you're left with, you know, 50% image density. But I'll tell you this, I have had clients that have reported to us that certain brands, and I don't know which, even though it said it was 50-50, it yielded color beyond what a 50-50 would normally do. So there may be some fabrication techniques for the fabric that allow the polyester maybe to be more on one surface than another. Like in fabric world, they call that, to some extent, plated jersey, I think, where it's a construction for the fabric. So again, every day I learn so much from folks like y'all and from others. There's so many people that will call me and educate me about areas that I'm trying to learn. So it's great. But Sprite, I got to tell you, that is you nailed it this time.
I did pretty good. Third time's a charm.
So if we look underneath here, just really, really critical. A great job. I mean, it's almost where if I wasn't here, I wouldn't have believed that you could do that, because you're all the way underneath, almost a perfect alignment with the underneath, you know, very, very close to being perfect. Handle turned out really good. And you've got a nice circular pattern at the handle, And so it's just a matter of cutting your transfer so that it seamlessly fits together for 11. And you got a great top to bottom. So if you don't know it, guys, traditionally when we used mug presses, it was fairly difficult to get a consistent top to bottom mug transfer. It was just difficult. But with the SubliWrap, I mean the SubliShrink, it's not.
No. So I have a couple questions. Never doubt Sprite. You tell him, Carol. So Paula, the name for this pattern is Retro Flowers. And it actually comes across, I think this is one of our more expensive patterns because it comes across as a phone case, a mug, and a 12 by 12 already set up. And that's just because of this centerpiece. I had to change that for each template that I made. So we don't sell Sublical paper, but we do sell the mates and the SubliWrap for decals. All right.
Yeah, I've heard of the Sublical, and I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that our SubliWrap is ridiculously easy to use.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I have a really big idea for it that I'm not going to tell y'all yet, but I'm really excited for it.
Yeah,
so.
the mates is another sticker material, but it's different. The mates is where the SubliWrap you could put on and you could remove, but the mates material you're not going to remove it. It's very permanent after it sets for 24 hours, so you would only want to put it on things that, almost industrial, commercial kinds of products. People will use it for instrumentation because, again, remember, sublimation is subsurface decorating. So if for instance, an instrumentation label that was subject to abrasion, well, the sublimation coating, by definition, protects the ink from abrasion, unlike surface decorating.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. Let's move right along.
I mean, some of these comments are just, they're so funny. Great comments.
I know. I like
All right, what next?
I'm still smiling, Stephen. All right. So now we're going to move on to a myth about the EasySubli, because I know you guys have a lot of questions about that. So let's talk about it. All right. What I have here, so this is a design printed onto sublimation paper. As you can see, it is mirrored and all that good stuff. Okay, so this is that same design printed on the vinyl, done with the SubliJet-HD inks. Okay, this is the same design printed on the vinyl done with the EasySubli inks. So what I want to do is show you guys the difference in quality between regular sublimation technique, printing on the vinyl with the SubliJet-HD, and printing on the vinyl with the EasySubli, because I know there's a lot of confusion out there about, well, I have to use the EasySubli inks, it's not going to work, and let's clear that up right now. So I've got a 100% cotton t-shirt, which is black, and I have my heat press set for 311 degrees, excuse me, for 15 seconds. I'm going to pre-press it.
By the way, like 311 is just, all they did was they unfortunately did a conversion from Celsius and ended up with an odd temperature.
Well, I actually have it at 315, but...
Yeah. So,
All right. So I'm going to pre-press it for about 5 seconds, and that's really just to get the moisture out and to get any wrinkles out. And
by the way, the Caesar people have been great to work with, and we've learned a lot about their products, and still have a lot to learn.
Okay, would the spray work versus the tape for holding on the handle? No, it's not, because what the tape is doing is the tape is actually kind of acting like the SubliShrink, and it's forming a bond from the outer air onto the transfer onto the mug. So taping it fully, that's what's going to give you that, that tightness up against the handle, which is going to make it sublimate.
Yeah, you need the tape to anchor it with some amount of pressure for contact.
Barbie, this is a DK20.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so I printed directly onto the sub paper, and I'm just going to peel it off and place it on there. So I don't have to mask it because I'm just using the big square. I'm trying to get it off. All right.
So again, the myth buster that Sprite is doing is, you know, do I need to buy a new printer? Yes or no? Can I use my existing printer? Another way of rephrasing the same question. And I think the third question might come up is, okay, what if I don't have any of the above? You know, let's say I have an Epson printer and just no name brand ink, whatever. You know, can I be part of this party? And I think pretty much whatever your situation is, you're gonna be able to use the Caesar vinyl is sort of the bottom line.
But the first thing you need to do is call tech support, and they will set you up, depending on your printer, depending on your computer, depending on your software, they will set you up with the best way to do this.
If you, assuming you're using Sawgrass ink, that's where our expertise is.
There we go. Got it.
And good job. So
Thanks.
if you've got the Sawgrass, if you've got a Ricoh printer or Sawgrass printer, we're going to be able to help you. The Ricoh printers, it's hard to believe, but they've been out plus 14 years, because I've been doing this 27. And so if you've got the oldest Ricoh printer out there, which would be the GX7000, we can help. If you've got the newest Ricoh-based printer, which is, of course, the SG800, we can help. And that's pretty cool that you can have really, really old stuff, and we can still support you.
I had a question, but I can't see it, which is okay. Can you scroll up on Facebook and let me see what the...
So the question is about, I saw the one from Kathy, color correction has been enabled for a non-postcard printer. That's how it's supposed to. So that is a good thing, and that's what we want. So we want to see that message in Corel. All that means is we're doing sophisticated things, but Corel thinks we have too cheap a printer because it's not a PostScript printer, and that's good.
John asked if you can sublimate on all of our mugs or just certain ones.
So the mugs that we sell are for sublimation. So the answer is, are the ICC color profiles different for EasySub? Yes. Well, let me read that. Are the ICC Conde profiles different for EasySub printed with SubliJet? Yes. So if you want to use the Caesar vinyl, and you know you're buying your ink from us, have Ricoh or Sawgrass, what we will do under our SpectraFusion color management system we have here, that I think works the best of anything. We will add a second printer, so you'll actually see a second printer, and that second printer will be your EasySubli printer. And so when you want to use the EasySubli vinyl, you're going to print to that, and it will have different driver settings, and it will have a different profile. So yes. So again, we've been using this time since the introduction to perfect our color management methods, and things have gone very well.
All right. Let me show you all the difference. Okay, so this is just the first two methods. So this one over here, this is the EasySubli inks. And let me see if I can get that to look better. Okay, so this over here, this is the EasySubli inks, and this is the SubliJet-HD inks.
So which one is more accurate or more correct, I guess?
The SubliJet-HD, without a doubt.
So which one is the SubliJet-HD?
The brighter blue.
The brighter blue.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, here it looks almost too bright, but you're saying that more reflects what we see on the screen, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So, and then what I'm gonna do next is I'm actually going to sublimate. So this is what it looked like coming out of my printer onto sublimation paper. So you'll see how that actually transfers over to the shirt here in just a second. So the method that I'm about to use is I'm just going to take the vinyl off of the backing sheet, tack it down to my shirt, and then sublimate on top of it. And if you do this method, you do have to up your temperature, which I've been doing mine at about 375, and you also need to up your time, which is 45 seconds.
So you're doing traditional sublimation at that point.
I am, but I got to let my, I'm going to go ahead and tack my EasySubli down, and then I'm going to sublimate this to it.
Now the blacks are noticeably better on here.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. So Carol, did you get the EasySubli inks or the EasySubli vinyl? And Nancy, I may have said to use Teflon paper originally for the EasySubli, but I don't actually. If that's what I said, then that's probably what I was told. But I've just been doing the regular butcher paper, and it hasn't been affecting it at all. So.
I think one question while you're pressing was, can I use the SubliShrink in a 3D sublimation vacuum machine? So you can use a 3D vacuum press as an oven, and so put stuff in there, and so that will work. But you don't need to use the vacuum portion of the oven, just the heat. Also, what size do you recommend for 11 and 15 ounce mugs? Wonder what size.
What size SubliShrink?
Yeah.
So for the 11, I'm not sure about the 15 ounce mug, but I know that the 11 ounce mug fits in the SF79. We are getting some new shrink film in a couple of weeks, so.
We are adding so many sizes from.
That's right.
We've got I think just came in is the size that is for a shot glass, right?
That's correct. And Robert, it's probably just you. I know you. You are sideways, so. And Nancy, no, it does not stick. I have not had an issue with it sticking. All right, so I'm at about 350 degrees, so I'm going to take this. I gave it a little bit of a bleed. I printed it in mirror image, and I'm going to align it to my my vinyl, which I've already tacked down. I tacked it down for about 5 seconds, and I'm just going to use heat tape just to kind of keep it in place. I know we say don't use heat tape on fabric, but you know, I like to break the rules. David can tell you that. All right, so we're going to do this for 45 seconds at about 375 degrees. Okay.
Yeah, so this is just we'll call it the other method, so to speak, of doing it by simply traditional sublimation methods.
And Nancy, so yes. Okay, so with the SubliJet-HD, you can only print on white or light polyester. But what I'm doing is I'm printing to this polyester vinyl. So I'm applying this vinyl first, which is the EasySubli vinyl, and then I'm sublimating to the vinyl. So that's what's giving us, that's what makes this EasySubli so great, because you were never able to print or sublimate to dark or cotton, and now we can do that.
Yeah, we've believe me, we've tried different methods, and I would say that there are going to be a number of methods, say this time next year, for decorating cotton. We'll just see how they come along, and we'll report and educate you. And so it is very exciting, the advancements in our industry. Somebody asked a question about printing larger than 13 by 19. There's not an abundance of choices out there to go larger than 13 by 19.
What you do with the other shirt?
Right here, Mike.
Okay.
So most people.
So this is it. This is it sublimated directly to the shirt. David, can you come up and let's do a side by side?
Yep.
Vicky, girl, you missed a lot. All right, so. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, so this one in my hand, this is done typical sublimation method, okay? This one is done with the EasySubli method, and this one is done with the SubliJet-HD on the EasySubli. So printed to sub paper, printed with EasySubli inks, and printed with SubliJet-HD inks.
Right.
So there you go. You can see the difference. So I would say good, well, good, better, best.
So yeah. Now, why would the traditional method be better, people would ask, and there's just a bunch of things that make it better. Number one is because you're really going to have the sharpest images, because the sublimation paper, as we discussed earlier, is designed to keep things incredibly sharp and detailed. Next is the paper is just designed to release ink properly, so you've got that going for it. So just a lot of things, and again, going back to that process, it's just well defined. Now, the folks at Caesar have put an inkjet receptive coating on their vinyl. So when you drop ink on it, it's holding that ink in place, and we refer to that as a direct sublimation method. And it's not new, been around for a long time. But then when the ink is heated, it is already near the coating and it goes into it. And I think that process has some advantages, because obviously you don't need paper, and you're simply putting the ink on there and heating it. So for instance, in the big textile world, there are people who have fabrics that are coated with an inkjet receptive coating, and they run directly through a printer. The printer puts the dispersed dyes, the sublimation dyes, directly on the fabric. The coating holds them in place so they don't run, and then you immediately hit it with heat through what we refer to as a calendared or rotary heat press. And so I know there's some advantages doing that, but it is just not the industry standard way of doing it. The industry standard is print on paper, then sublimate. But using the Caesar, this method, you know, you're possibly saving, I guess, a little bit of steps, you know, because you're not having to take paper and vinyl. But at any rate, you've got two choices of how to do the vinyl. We've shown it to you. Certainly, I would say there's absolutely no doubt about it that the traditional sublimation approach of printing on paper and then pressing on the vinyl yields the best detail by far, just like we did on the metal. Great detail. And then number two is certainly the best and brightest colors.
All right, so I had a couple of questions. All right, so is the EasySubli ink for printing on fabrics only? No, Nancy, you can use the EasySubli inks for everything. I had an example in here of what it looked like on metal. It's not as bright, it's not as vibrant. So, you know, your best bet is to go with the SubliJet-HD inks.
We've not yet profiled the EasySubli inks. All we did was make the SubliJet inks, SubliJet-HD inks, and the older SubliJet Rico inks work great with Caesar. That's what we did first. And we've done it. You can call tech support. We can set you up. And we'll turn our attention now for people that have bought EasySubli ink systems to profiling those for best results. Can't promise when we'll do that, but my advice is, again, going back to that process, is go with what is very tuned and proven. And so I would say, if you've got a existing sublimation system, whatever it is likely that it will work great. If it doesn't, I'd love to hear from you. If you do not have a system and you're looking to buy one, if I'm spending my money, I'm going to buy a SubliJet-HD system, either a 400 or 800. That's what I'm going to buy, because with all the profiles, it's dialed in, it looks great, very proven. But we will continue to stay at the wheel and try to understand all this. But very pleased now that we have our support for the SubliJet-HD inks with the Caesar vinyl.
All right, Tabitha asked, she has a SG400. She can print longer, but not width-wise. Is there a way to print bigger width-wise? And no, sweetheart, you're limited to 8.5 inches wide. Jill, does the EasySubli have a feel similar to regular vinyl, or does it feel closer to sublimation? No, it feels like vinyl. It definitely has a hand. Carol, do I need to call tech support if I'm going to use EasySubli with my SG800? Yes, ma'am. They need to set you up with the best profile for your method of printing.
Yeah. By the way, one of the things that is confusing the heck out of us is when we use the word EasySubli, you could be referring to the inks, you could be referring to the vinyl. And so, you know, one of those kind of things that engineers like me, you know, just drives me crazy, because we really want to do a great job of educating you with minimal confusion.
Tracy, what's the feel to the last method, and how long is the wearability and longevity? So they all have the same feel because they're all being done on the vinyl, so it doesn't really matter what method that you use. We have washed and dried it multiple times and have not had an issue with it yet. Now, the manufacturer does suggest to tumble dry low and wash on a cold cycle. Can you sub on the vinyl, then cut out the image, then press to the shirt? Yeah, and that's what we did on the last one. I just did a square because it was easier. And then, okay, I think I got it.
Well, one comment, we've had some experience with what we'll call direct sublimation. That is where the substrate has a coating on it that you can print directly onto it, then hit it with heat. And one of the things to be a little bit concerned about is if you do it that way, which is great, you know, feel free, but if you under sublimate, let's say you just didn't do a good job and your temperature was a little bit lower, or you didn't press long enough, or you got a cheap press and it just doesn't put out heat, whatever the reason, the challenge is when that shirt goes in the wash for the first time, it absolutely has some amount of residual ink that has not sublimated, you know, and it could absolutely come out and stain a blend shirt, because it is sublimation after all. And so, you know, probably when you're starting to sell this stuff is make sure that one of the first shirts you do, you wash it yourself and you verify everything is as it's supposed to be. And my advice goes a little bit further, and that is that anytime you change your process, you change to a different brand of shirts or a different paper, whatever, always go back and retest. You know, because in the transfer paper world with inkjet printers, for instance, like the Nina Jet Pro Soft Stretch, you can have quite a bit different results if you go to a cheap ink, you know, a pigment versus a dye. If you're using a third party, whatever, you can ultimately have just tremendous problems. And so you always need to go back and test. Change shirts, test again. Change inks, test again, so that you're not going to get that first phone call where the client says, hey, you know, bad things happen. But my advice is for the first one, if you do the direct print on the Caesar vinyl, be sure to wash it and test it yourself.
All right, Cassie and Ron, I see what's happening here. You guys do you. Dewey, what size mug wrap did you use on the mug? We used the shrink film, which is the SF79. And Bobby, I do see you. Let me know if you have a question, okay? All right, guys, let's move on. Let's talk about some new stuff. Okay, so one of the things that I have that's new is our new Unisub textured products, and I think we talked about this a little bit. maybe a couple weeks ago, but this is the 7.5 by 9 small placemat. And so I'm going to do this really cute pattern. This is our space pattern, which is also available to 2 lucky viewers. And don't forget, guys, I am going to be giving those away. So, you know, keep your comments coming, because I usually just pick a comment and then give it to a commenter.
So you could use that also as a mouse pad,
yeah,
right?
You can use it as a mouse pad. You can use it as, you know, a piece of, just a photo panel. I mean, there's really anything. You can use it for anything. So I'm just taping it down. I'm going to press this for 400 degrees, 60 seconds with a medium pressure. Image face down, product face up. So just like this. Okay.
So one of the challenges for folks that are new to sublimation is just getting familiar with all the names that we call this stuff. So this material is what we call hardboard, and some people refer to as masonite. And then the folks at Universal Woods coat it in a big sheet, and then they fabricate it into different sizes and shapes. What they've done, which is just absolutely amazing, they finally come up with this textured coating. And the textured coating, when I worked with them on this project a little bit, and when we first talked about it, their goal was to mimic canvas. That was what they were trying to do. And I think not only did they mimic canvas, but they went into you know, really unknown dimension, if you will, you know, the multi-dimensions we live in, and have come up with a product that has, I think, an aura all to itself. It's a very pleasing, high-value look.
So, okay, Bobby, I'm sorry, I missed your comment earlier. So do we have a shrink wrap that will fit around an object that is 4 inches by 4 inches? And yes. So we have a 7 by 9 shrink film. We have a 4 by 6 shrink film. We have, so I think the 7 by 9 is going to be your best bet to start with. But we do have some more sizes coming out. But the great thing about the shrink film is that even if it's a little too large, you can always just kind of wrap it and tape it. And I have a lot of videos out about that. So yeah, Bobby, if I were you, I would call and talk to your sales rep, and they can help you. And if you don't have a sales rep, we will be happy to give you one.
Yeah, you can go to the search on the website and type in SubliShrink. I don't know if that's 2 words or 1 word, can't remember.
1 word.
1 word, and you'll see all the sizes that are up there today, you know, very, very nice. Beautiful colors.
Is there a video on the mugs that I did today? Nope, not yet. Can you reuse the butcher paper? I wouldn't suggest it, because what's going to happen, I don't know if you can see, you can probably see it on this one, is you get that blue where the sub gas kind of escapes, and then if you go to press something else, that's going to transfer back onto your paper, your image.
Yeah, I would be cautious with reusing the paper, but certainly I occasionally reuse it, you know. You know, if it's clean, whatever, but, you know.
It's so hard to figure out where this mouse is.
Yeah, we got.
Okay, there we go, there we go, there
got
we go.
too many darn monitors we're watching. This is actually a lot of fun, you know.
Okay, let's see, what did I have? Can you reuse the butcher paper? Ask and you shall receive. How do you decide when to use spray as opposed to tape? All right, Nikki, so for soft substrates, I like to use Pro Spray, and for hard substrates, I like to use tape. But if you go to any of the products' webpage, it'll tell you what we have recommended. We do have various sizes on the textured, and I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
the names for this stuff is honestly epic. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I agree. But going back to the Pro Spray versus heat tape, you know, I would say, if possible, I'm probably going to use heat tape, but heat tape just does poorly on soft substrates, mouse pads, things like that. Also, Pro Spray is a godsend when it comes to double-sided products like some of the Chromolux metals, the keychains, bag tags, things that like that. There's no place to put tape that I know of. Maybe somebody can figure out how to do it. So again, it's one of those kinds of things where I think it allows you some additional flexibility. I had a person the other day, and they sent me an email, and I didn't know how to answer it. They basically said, I want to order all these products. You know, do I need to order anything else other than these products? I'm brand new to sublimation. And I was going, well, you can look up the instructions, and it'll tell you what you need. And they call back, and they go, really? And bottom line is this, is every sublimator should have the standard accessories like a green pad, like a no-mix pad, heat tape, pro spray, pair of scissors, a lint roller, cover paper, and that way, to some extent, you don't have to worry about it.
All right, guys, so this is what I did. It's hot. It's hot. All right, so this is little Kyle's refilling station. Really cute, cute little pattern. I don't know if you guys can see the texture in it. I'm gonna try
It is hard to see.
I don't know if you can see that it's textured. It's got a really,
cool.
really cool.
Is it cool enough where I can test it with my mouse over here just to see if it really works with an optical mouse?
Pretty
I wonder.
warm.
Let's pop it over here so I can see.
Okay, there you go.
Throw it down there.
There you go. So, all right. Sprite,
Yep.
you make that look heavy.
Seems to
just
work
hot.
great.
Just hot, Carol.
So
not
it bows,
necessarily
it's
heavy.
just slightly bowing,
Right.
and so if you pop it back in the heat press with it down like this, give it a little press, it's gonna go flat. But it is almost flat.
All right,
Almost.
Diane, I love that question. My spray always clogs, and I can't keep it clean, but it's still clogged. I try to keep it clean, but it's still clogged. I have 3 cans that I can't use. Any advice? Well, yes, I do have some advice for you. So first off, I did a really great video on Condé TV about how to keep your Pro Spray nozzle clean. So what I would suggest, since you have 3 cans, I would take all 3 of the tips out of the can, just like that. Allow them to sit overnight in acetone, and then the next morning rinse them out with water, let them dry for an hour, and you will have a brand new tip. And then that way, and then, did you lose audio? They lost audio. Oh no! What'd you do, David? Fix it. Stop crying. Oh, they're all crying.
All right,
Don't
let's
cry.
see if it's back
Is
again.
that better? Oh no.
Yep, it's back.
Is it back?
Yep.
David did it.
I have no idea why.
David
But thanks for saying something there.
Are we good? You guys let me know if we're good. We can't hear you any longer, right where you were explaining. Anybody can hear me? Video is freezing too.
It's back. Okay.
It's back.
Thank you, Jessica.
All right. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Pro Spray.
Pro Spray in the tips.
Okay, so here we go. So you take your tip off, you let it soak overnight in acetone. Acetone is just fingernail polish remover. You can get it at the dollar store, you can get it anywhere. So let it sit overnight in acetone, then in the morning, take it, rinse it out with water, let it dry for an hour, and then you're gonna have an unclogged tip. And because you have 3 cans, so anytime you go to throw a can away, save your tip. And that way, if you're in a pinch and you have a can that is clogged, you can just pull another tip out and you can use it. So, good job. Yes, I also like to, before I spray, or before I use it, I kind of do like a little spray just to clear any kind of excess out, and you're going to be good.
Yeah, it brings up, and I know we're running a little over, but real quick, when you have things that go wrong, which if you don't, that means you're not trying, because things just happen, as everybody knows. Document it, write it down, like I'm having trouble with the Pro Spray tips or whatever, clogs, whatever. And ultimately, you can ask, just like somebody asked just now. But if you're not documenting things, if you're not in a process improvement kind of mode, then you're probably doomed to repeat your mistakes, like having multiple cans or whatever. And I'm not promising that we can solve all the problems, but if it's a common issue, chances are we've heard about it, and chances are we've got some advice on it.
All right, guys, my last my last thing for today is our brand new Chromolux exterior clear gloss metal.
Wow.
Oh, so this is an 11 by 14 piece. This is U4812. It has this really funky looking yellow tab on it. And also this pattern right here, this is called overlapping triangles. This is the third pattern that one of you beautiful people are going to win. All right, so I'm going to put this on here, tape it down, we're going to press it. All right, and while we're letting this press, what is this, a minute and a half, I think.
Now,
all right.
why outdoor metal? And outdoor metal just provides you new markets to go after. It's just amazing. Guy says, just posting our Facebook page, that he's been doing sublimation for 30 years. That's amazing.
Right. Wow.
Greg
that's
Henderson.
Longer than you, David.
It is, and it just means that there were, previous to what I was doing, there were single color laser sublimation going on, normally to trophy plates and metal, and there were also some original, and I'm trying to remember the names, mine is a little blank, but there were some other Express systems out there from the old Express company. So yeah, sublimation's been around a long time. As many of you have heard my lectures, it was first observed and began being studied in 1938, so a long time ago.
All right, guys, so it is about that time where I'm going to give away everything that I press. So before I do that, before you start guessing, I'm going to tell you when to start guessing, but first I'm going to tell you what I'm going to give away. So I'm going to give away a 5-pack of the EasySubli, a MUG11, a 7.5 by 9 inch textured placemat, a 8 by 10 matte Chromolux, and also this 11 by 14 Chromolux EXT panel. So, one guess per person, only the first guess will win. Only one guess per platform, so only one guess on Facebook, one guess on YouTube. Guesses need to be expressed in pounds, so 1.2, 4.8, etc. The winning weight, etc. The winning weight will be the first guess closest to, but not over, the combined weights. 2 prizes will be awarded, one on Facebook, one on YouTube. Free shipping in the continental U.S. Cannot win twice within 30 days. So, go ahead, tell me how much does it weigh. Go. How much does it weigh?
Guys, I got to tell you, this is without a doubt the best looking mug from a transfer technique I've ever seen.
Oh.
I mean, it is amazing.
Well, thanks. Thanks, David.
You know, if somebody would have brought me this mug, say, 2 years ago, I would have said, I don't know how they did it. And I'm sure with the smart people out there, there's somebody that was doing this long before we figured it out. It's a tribute to the great folks that are in this world. Now anybody can do it. You know, it's no expertise. By the way, we do recommend that you cool mugs over a powerful fan. We no longer recommend that you dip them in water, as that can cause microfractures in the ceramic and in the ceramic of the mug.
All right, guys, so while you are guessing, I want to talk about our quarterly gallery contest winners. Y'all, you turned it up this month, and we had, or excuse me, this quarter, and we had hundreds and hundreds of entries. So we're going to start with our honorable mention. So this is Tin Man Graphics. They did our MSR 10, our pot holder, and they have won $100 in Conde credit.
Awesome.
Yes.
Good job.
Very great. All right, our third place winner, also winning $100 in Conde credit, is Branching Out Pottery. They did our U5683, which is our 6x6 hardboard tile. They are also winning $100 in Conde credit.
Awesome.
All right, and in second place, winning $200 in Conde credit, is Sunridge Creations. Ooh, I know who that is. That's U5684, our 6x8 hardboard tile. So you have won $200 in Conde credit. Very, very nice. All right, and then our winner chicken dinner with $400 in Conde credit. This is Ashwood Boutique. They did our U1101, our 8x10 dry erase board, and they have won $400 in Conde credit.
Congratulations. That's beautiful.
Isn't that great? All
So
right.
is that a memorial to a dog, I guess?
Yes, it is. So in addition to that, I've got one more gallery contest winner to give away, and that is our weekly gallery contest winner. And this is Tamara's Tidbits. She did our Apple Watch band, the 3840. We love it, and you have won $25 in Conde credit.
Looks really good.
It does. It looks super cute.
Let's see that.
So congratulations, everybody. So now our new quarterly contest where you can win all of that money, again, is Think Outside the Box. Show me your unique use of sublimation. So maybe you're stacking metal, maybe you're mixing medias, maybe you're doing whatever. Show it to me. So you have until the end of September to win all of these great prizes.
Well, one of these days we need to run a contest to see what kind of new mug designs with more area, more style, more excitement that people are doing with this.
David Gross.
Really good.
David Gross, y'all. All right, what else do I have? I've got 2 review winners. So because I was not on the air last week, because it just didn't happen, I'm going to give Deja Clift at Clift Craft Corner $25 in Conde credit. She reviewed our luggage tags, our ACR 338. She said, love these Color Light acrylic luggage tags. We sell them often and they make a great addition to luggage, golf bags, and bags for cheer and basketball. Don't forget, don't mirror this. I made that mistake the first time. Thank you, Deja. We will be giving you $25 in Conde credit. And this week's product review winner is Pam French. Pam reviewed our markers, which are the Mark 10-PK. She said, love these markers. I made a t-shirt for my granddaughter starting kindergarten. The markers were so easy to use, and the colors once pressed were incredible. I would highly recommend. Congratulations, Pam. Congratulations, Deja. Congratulations to all of our winners. You guys are fantastic. Yes, so please go send me a review. All you have to do, go to the product page, go down to the review tab, send a review, and you will be entered to win $25 in Conde credit. I do that every single week, and even if I'm not here on the week, I'll still give it to you because,
The markers are cool. So if you have not used the markers, get you a set of them. They're just amazing.
All right, so.
We also have a new marker sampler pack.
That's right. We also have a new marker sampler pack. So that's beautiful.
Is that just with some substrates? Is that what it is? Okay, got you.
All right. So.
I want to thank everybody in the.
Well, we're not done yet.
Okay.
We're not done yet.
Well, we got to pick our winners.
That's right. Okay. So, Cassie Breeden and Made by Nancy, you two guys are my winners for my design packs. So guys, send me an email, Made by Nancy and Cassie Breeden. Email me, swood@conde.com, and I will send you all of the art that we did today. And I don't know what happened to I don't know what happened.
What?
Well, I need to give our guess the weight winners away, but I kind of lost my team there. I don't know what happened.
Yep. Well.
So.
Anybody upstairs?
You want to go find them for me, and then.
Yeah. Hold on just a second.
All right, guys. So if I have any other questions or anything, you know, shoot them to me, and I'll try to answer them. I hope David's mic's not on. All right, made by Nancy. First time hearing one. Yes, ma'am. Good job, y'all. All right, Cassie, yes. Now maybe your husband will let you buy something. All right. All right, guys. Just trying to figure out who won all the rest of the stuff. All right, well, it looks like I have a winner on YouTube. So that's all right. All right, so Tracy Naquin on Facebook, you won my Guess the Weight, and Eddie Greer, you won my Guess the Weight on YouTube. So so Tracy Naquin, 2.3 pounds, that was it exactly, and Eddie Greer, you guessed 2.2 pounds, and that was pretty close. So congratulations, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I need a pen so I can write that down. I tell you what, everybody that won today, email me.
Now, did you award the packs?
I did. Yes, okay. I did. Everybody, Eddie, Tracy, Cassie, Nancy, email me, swood@conde.com. I'm going to send you all your stuff. Thanks for being with us today, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a great, safe weekend.
So much.
Take care.
Bye, Mom. I love you.